And the subject for this panel is yet another interesting one, beyond traditional PR, navigating the future of communication in the digital world. As we all know, it's something that integrates all of us. So over to you, ma'am. And I would request all the members and the session chair, Shubho sir, to please keep a tab of time. We are running very late, so the buzzer means time's up. Thank you so much. Go ahead. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Am I audible at the back? If you can raise your hand.
Please raise your hands if he's audible, guys.
Okay.
Yes? Good to go, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Before I start off, wonderful to be here, and a quick thanks to the sponsors. Huh? You can't hear me?
No?
No, they can't hear me. Can you hear me now? Okay, I think I'll just take this off and go from digital to analog. Yeah, I'll hold it like this. I think this is better.
Take the mic.
Yeah.
Or probably you can switch. Better? Comfortable?
Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, so first of all, thank you very much for hosting this session. AdGully, I'm a big fan of Bijoya. Wonderful to be here again. Panel 10, Beyond Traditional PR. Okay, all right. Thank you, Adfactors, Gracell, Kaizen, V360, 80dB, Mavericks, Teamology Softtech, Media Services Limited, PepsiCo, PR Professionals, Bevzilla, Idem House of Brands. So, all these people, all these brands, companies have brought this thing together, and thank you very much. Okay, now we'll start off. It's my pleasure to introduce Amandeep Arora from Enkash. You can just raise your hands, Amandeep Arora from Enkash, Head of Comms and Content Marketing. There's Kasturi Paladhi from Head of Public Relations at CoinSwitch. There's Mahima Misra, Head of PR at GoodGlamm. There's Nikita Nanda, VP at Adfactors. And there's Rahul Mehta, CEO at Media Mantra. And there's Richa Agarwal, Senior Consulting Partner at Gracell. Okay. And as you can probably make out, this is a panel, majority women, I guess 70-80%, very happy to be here. Though someone tells me that, a lot of people have told me that PR mein to ladies hi hote hai zyada. Okay, so, I mean, that's another topic, but, wonderful to be in a panel where the majority are women, right, whatever the reason be. All right, I mean, off the record, I've seen panels talking about women's empowerment where all the panelists were men, right? So it's a nice change, right? Okay, so, we'll start. Oh, my name is Shubho Sengupta. I'm the only Sarkari guy in the room probably, okay. But my background is advertising and marketing. I've been on the client side and the agency side, and I work for something called Mission Karma Yogi at the moment, which is, civil servants upskilling program. We train 30 million civil servants to get their act together, basically, right? Okay, so let's start off. We've got a lot of questions, but we'll start off with some broad talking points. And we've got about half an hour, someone reminded me. But don't worry, if the others could overstep their time, so will we, right? Okay, so let's start off with the digital transformation of communication, which is, the broad topic, broad theme, beyond traditional PR, right? And I'll invite all our speakers to, give a top-line, broad intro, perhaps their own experience of this. So, this is the major topic of the day, perhaps, digital transformation of communication. Would you like to start off?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, I think today...
everyone can hear her, right? At the back?
Can you guys hear me? Yes, okay.
Excellent. Okay, great.
So I think how do brands essentially navigate the future of communications in the digital world, essentially? Today, I think PR as a whole, and because I represent Adfactors, I think tonality of each campaign, each brand that we service revolves around sort of like a 360-degree outlook. So whether it's multi-segmented communication, whether it's the kind of content that we create across influencers, across different stakeholder sets, whether it's government, whether it's policymakers, whether it's the zillennials, millennials, the Gen Zs of the world, right? So I think the way PR has evolved beyond print, TV, online has completely changed the game of how all of us as PR communications behave. And I think one of the reasons that is done is it's also sort of like a boon because it's cut away from the usual clutter. And I think COVID forced that.
Okay.
We all saw that. The reduction of print, the surge of online, the reduction of magazines, etc. So I think it becomes not just important, it's no longer good to have, it's absolute need of the hour to
It's
move
a must.
beyond.
Okay.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay. Nikita, I'll move to Mahima now. Okay. If you could just keep it a little short, please. You know, what is this digital transformation about?
Am I audible?
No, you're not. Not even to me, actually. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes. Is it better now? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I think what I've seen through the course of what all's happened in PR, one thing I'm speaking personally from my experience is that I feel PR is constantly evolving. Like I think 3 years ago, we did not see the reduction of print happening so drastically, at least at the scale at which it did. The way I see it, of course, it's also opened a lot of inroads for PR to be present from influencers. Social media and PR are so integrated with one another. It's not just an Instagram platform or a LinkedIn platform. How you perceive, how you portray your brand, every campaign, how it's amplified in every platform that there is. I think it's constantly evolving, it's changing. And if you ask me 3 years from now, where are we headed? I honestly don't know because I think you don't know what the next door has in front of you. But the beauty is that for me, PR is essentially 80% of the job is how you deal with people. And if you have that, you will always navigate the digital world as well, very easily.
Okay, great. Great. Kasturi, same question more or less, but you know, so what I'm going to do, you know this thing, 12, 46, 45, this is making me nervous, this ticker, this timer. So I'm going to, you know, merge these two questions. I mean, Neha's questions and our personal questions. Okay, I think that'll make it a little shorter. Okay, so my question to you is, just one sec. Yeah, you've worked in traditional PR and now you're on the client side in the fintech space. And there are these new buzzwords, you know, digital transformation, etc. So how do you navigate your way through the old world to now the new world?
Thank you so much for the question. First of all, thank you so much for having me. It's wonderful to speak in front of all of you. I'm sure we'll engage in conversations after. I'm also not looking at the timer. But I think coming from a PR agency, that's where I started my career. I've been in corporate communications for about 6 years now. It's actually not a very different world. Things don't really change, but the stakeholders that you manage actually change drastically. Because in an agency, I would keep on thinking that why do I have to go and tell my client what PR is, what will work, what will not work? Thankfully, we would do that, right? We would expect, today I expect my agency to come and tell me all of that as to which channels should I be present in, what should I be talking about, so on and so forth. When I was on the PR agency side of things, I would always go and teach my clients about what are the new things that I learned. I see myself doing the same things with my co-founders and CEOs today. I have to constantly train them about what public relations is, what they should do, what they should not do, how it's growing, how it's expanding, the digital landscape, how it's changing. So I guess not much changes. You pretty much need to be on top of everything that's happening around you, and that's your job as a PR professional. But that's what is your job as a corporate communications professional as well. But yes, of course, like your neck is always on the line, and the buck stops at you. So you have to be 100% sure. In an agency, if there would be something that goes wrong, you would have seniors and so many other people coming and telling you, you know, how you can make things better. But I guess the lives don't really change. I'll come back to what I said first. Stakeholders change, and as communicators, we all know how to communicate for a respective stakeholder, right? That's something that we are taught at the very beginning of our career. So I guess that.
Sure. Okay, I'm going to move to Rahul, who's the CEO at Media Mantra. Rahul has just come back from Bombay talking about independent PR agencies transitioning to post-traditional PR. Okay, and he's the expert in the room when it comes to this. So please go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And
good. So,
Rahul, if I may interrupt all of us, the panelists, you know what we're going to talk about. In the, shortage of time, you can mix up things.
Yeah,
Perfectly
sure.
okay. Yeah.
So, I think the last 3 years have been some of the most exciting times for the communications industry. I think we have never seen this much paradigm shift in the industry happening ever before. Uh, I think as an evolution post-COVID, more and more of our clients and us rely on technology-driven insights. I think the biggest change that has happened is that, when we used to earlier do traditional PR, there was a lot of spillover communication to non-relevant target audiences also. And in today's day and age with technology and AI and ChatGPT and, tools like Meltwater and, Viziki, we are able to do very accurate insights and very accurate targeted messaging for our, specific target audiences. Measurement in PR was always a difficult one to answer earlier in traditional PR because normally it was, how many headlines did you get, how much is positive, how much is the advertising value equivalent. But in today's day and age with the latest tools we have, we are able to do measurement way much more better. We're able to showcase the impact of our campaigns to our clients, both in terms of their share of voice increasing as well as even in some cases how it impacts their business. So I think what we need to do going forward is, invest as an independent firm. We invest a lot in technology. We invest in tools like Viziki and Meltwater, and we have increasingly been training our teams, giving clients integrated solutions. So that's something which we have been doing as a company. I think this is a trend which is going to keep on going forward. So I think the biggest change is the measurability is much more this thing. The transparency is much more there today, and I still feel that traditional PR is also as relevant today. In certain target audiences like the government and certain B2B sectors, but increasingly we will have to amalgamate both the traditional PR and technology and keep on investing in technology and be abreast with trends, to be ahead of the times, and that's what we do as an independent PR firm.
Okay, thank you. Amandeep, I want to ask you about, your thoughts on storytelling, which is the new buzzword. It's been a buzzword for a couple of years, but how does PR use storytelling to, build brands, take them forward?
So, via storytelling, you're creating an experience in the consumer's mind.
Just keep it close to you.
So, it's like if I go back and remember what campaigns actually I remember. So, I remember Sabhata's last year campaign and Wix 2017 campaign. Why? Because I believe they were the best storytelling campaigns. So, it's like I have imagined those campaigns in my head. It's experience, not just ads, but how we PR professional further amplify those campaigns would be really, connecting with the customers directly. That's my viewpoint on storytelling. And going back to my previous organization, it is not just for the brand. So when they were coming up with the IPO process, so it was really important to have storytelling of the people who were promoting that brand. So why would people, come and invest in you? Because the brand persona is directly linked to the people who are associated with that brand. So storytelling goes both ways, the company and the people who are associated with it. It's very important for us PR professionals to look both the sides.
Okay. So, I think, Mahima, I haven't come to you, right? Yeah. I have. Okay, sorry. So so sorry. My daughter is, bombarding me with WhatsApp messages. She's going out on a date and she wants me to come back quickly. She's 19 years old. Okay, so I'm going to ignore her. Right. Anyway, so my question to you is data, basically. Okay. So how does PR use data, which was previously the domain of specialist marketing, digital marketing agencies? How does PR use data to tell a better story, to get more targeted, to grow sales, and so on? No.
You're not audible.
So data is the new fuel. And it is not just PR, it's the entire economic, all the industries, the entire economy is now functioning on data. How PR will use data is, one, not only in terms of our own industry, but each and every industry that we work with. What is happening in that industry and where it is going, and their vision. What kind of data points help them to move forward? That is where I think as a PR professional, we become experts in I don't want to use the word expert, but somewhere knowledgeable about all the industries that we work for. So data point is about audience, who is consuming the data, so the content, when they are consuming, which platforms it is being consumed on. Now, in the digital transformation, what has happened in PR is that technology is borderless, and there are so many anonymous actors also are involved in it. I might be targeting my campaign to a certain group of people, but when I put it in the digital world, I don't know who else is going to interact with it. It is an open field now. So when somebody anonymous is interacting with you, if the consumption is quick, the judgment is also very quick. Where is that judgment coming from? From which areas it is coming from? That is one. Second, in terms of what you have asked me, I would go a little beyond and say that with digital, with internet, it is like a blockchain. Whatever you say, we are very quick to put out things, but we have to give it a thought. Because it's like, जैसे स्वर्ग में बैठ के चित्रगुप्त आपका पूरा रिपोजिटरी लगते हैं, वैसे internet is keeping each and every point, word that you have kept. When it is going to come back and bite you. So it's our internal data as well. What has been said, when it has been said. It's like a blockchain. That conversation can be picked out even 10 years down the line. So data is now working both ways. It's not just the industry data. I also keep an eye on our own data. What I said about my client, what word I put out about the brand 3 years ago. There should not be a glaring gap in what I have said earlier.
Okay, thank you. Do you do A/B testing? Do you do A/B testing with data?
Do you do A/B testing with data?
Okay, no, yeah.
I want to add a different point here.
Sure.
Comms department is actually a P&L department also nowadays, at least in startups. So data helps in, defining your top of the funnel to middle of the funnel to bottom of the funnel and qualifying marketing leads to sales leads. So if you have data and you know how to analyze the data and how to convert marketing qualified leads to sales leads, you are, boom, you're important department of your company then. And at least we have been doing this in Enkash, where I'm, part of various events we go, I've been managing, and I have a lot of data at the end of the event. What to do with that? We do email marketing campaigns and we define the top of the funnel there. From next level is defining the middle of the funnel, where the marketing qualified leads have come and transferring it to the sales people so that leads can be generated.
Okay, great. So since we're talking about data, I want to move to Nikita, and we were discussing ChatGPT and AI and stuff like that. So how does that play in? How does that factor in? Can you start by telling us how you use ChatGPT? I found it very interesting, your story.
So I was telling Shubho that we were fortunate.
Can everyone hear? I'm very nervous
I'll
that
take
people,
So at Adfactors, we were fortunate. April onwards, we started the march towards ChatGPT training, and perhaps we're the only agency with 1,200 plus employees to have been trained across ChatGPT. And in the context of PR and communications, I think we use ChatGPT from an AE level to right till the director level, right? So whether it's Word, whether it's research reports, assimilating data, whether it's Excel, so across, right? Across, and yesterday, Sam Altman was here at the ET event, right? So some of the questions that he answered as well. So one of the core things that I think is extremely important is not to see it as a threat. And I think as PR communications, you have to make it your research assistant. At least that's how I use it. So whether it's pitches, whether it's understanding, helping you mine data and take key takeaways from it, summarizing it. So we use it across, whether it's analytics, whether it's content, whether it's research, across the table and across designations. So yeah.
Will you do a pitch? Will you do a free presentation for the IT ministry next week on how to use ChatGPT?
I think Hemant Gole would be a better fit, but I'd be happy to do it.
Okay, great. Fantastic. Okay. Now I want to move to Mahima. My question to you upstairs was, in that room was influencer marketing, but you had another spin, which is, the range of products, etc., etc. Can you connect these two? You have a lot of influencer marketing agencies already on your roster. Okay, so how do you connect that with the roster of brands that you handle?
Okay, so essentially GoodGlamm Group is a beauty and personal care conglomerate, and our strategic, unique moat is content creator, commerce, and community. So the way we work is we content companies, of course, we look at converting content users to buying users through targeted content. Creators is a different division altogether within the company. We work very strategically in our influencer campaigns across. So we have, I think, approximately a network of 1.5 million influencers within the group. Wow. And we work very closely with them across all our campaigns. But what is also to be noted that each division is also very independent. So they don't only work with GoodGlamm, they work with different brands as well. At GoodGlamm, it's interesting because even our beauty and personal care brands are all very different. We have cosmetics, we have hair care, we have skin care, we have baby care, mother care. So again, we have to we're very strategic on the influencers we work with. And while, of course, influencer marketing is very digital, but at the same time, our community segment of Good Community, we make sure to always have the FaceTime with influencers for a lot of offline events, because that human element, digital can never really tap.
Okay. Kasturi, I want to ask you, you're in the crypto space and we were having an interesting conversation there. How does crypto use modern, new age PR to build a brand? A lot of people aren't that savvy about cryptocurrencies. There's a lot of misinformation happening, right? So how do you use digital or new media to tell the real story?
So you're absolutely right. There's a lot of conversations about crypto that are either driven by fake news, but there is a lot of fraud and scam that also goes on in this space and industry. A lot of Indians who are on the internet and obviously are lured to make a quick buck by the bad actors in the industry, the space, right? So there can be like wrong things that happen and that spreads like fire, we all know that. But as a company that is in crypto and as a company that is wanting to become a wealth tech destination, wanting to launch fixed deposits and mutual funds as we go along, owned and earned media for us is very important, because when you own, like, the peso model, right? So if you own, say, content, I'm going to be done really soon, like 2 minutes.
This is not fair. We were sitting while the others were doing their Mahabharat. So hame to thoda Ramayan ka time do. We'll wrap up soon.
Actually, there are a lot of sessions ahead, so which is why. Just.
Good.
Okay. So what I was telling you about was that in the peso model, there's paid, earned, shared, and owned, right? So, but owned is very important in the scheme of things, because we have experts in-house who've been looking at the market, who actually understand crypto. And for us to trust the people we have hired in the company to talk about what really goes on is important. There are a lot of influencers who, say in the crypto space, a lot of people worked with, but there were very strong ASCII guidelines also that came into existence. You all know about what's going on in terms of financial influencers and fintech influencers, right? So a lot of, it's not just any kind of influencer, it's your real money that's at stake. Of course, that's also at stake with other products that you might end up buying under the influence. But when real money is involved, there's a lot more to kind of keep in mind. So from a digital transformation point of view, I think owned channels are going to be very important, because investor education and customer education is going to be key in this space, especially in emerging technologies like crypto and Web3 and
Okay.
Especially when there are a lot of guidelines in place.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So we'll come to the last part of the session, which is I will request all panelists to say one line each about what the next 1 year is going to be like. What is the biggest trend? What is your prediction that you think will happen? It could be in any area, influencer marketing or, something in data analytics or, AI or whatever. So we'll start with you, sir.
I think, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I think the next year is going to be a process of continuing this evolution of amalgamating technology with our age-old communication, tried and tested techniques. I think as an agency, we strongly believe that we will be investing a lot more in technology, training our teams in the latest tools, and also providing our clients with integrated and measurable campaign solutions. I think this is going to be the next year.
Fantastic. Mahima?
I think for PR, very well integrated, especially with influencer marketing, that's actually going to really grow. And as Rahul rightly said, a lot of brands are strongly going to focus on measurable ROI for whatever they do, and that's going to continue to grow, and that's something PR needs to make sure happens very well.
Fantastic. Kasturi?
There's an economic downturn, is my understanding. And when things are bad, PR is going to be very, very important. So all of us in the room, I think we should just pat ourselves for choosing the right career. We've done a good job. I think our jobs are secure. We're going to be very, very relevant in the future. And yeah, that's my point.
Okay, thank you.
So, looking at the current scenarios in the fintech industry with a lot of guidelines in place, I think more brands will utilize the importance of own channels, especially the content marketing, to convey the right messaging. Of course, the learning of the new technologies like ChatGPT to use that content marketing effectively.
Okay, great. Richa? Next 1 year, biggest thing?
Yeah, so in this era of AI, ChatGPT, for PR, the focus remains the human. And human, if we are targeting humans, then it has to be empathy and storytelling which connects with the humans.
Empathy. I love that. Yeah. Nikita?
I think everyone's covered everything, but I think next year and the years to come, one of the key trends would also be regulations put in place for a lot of these technologies that have come in, especially ChatGPT and some of the other AI tools that most of us PR professionals use. So I think that is something I'd be interested to look at, especially from an influencer perspective and a new tech perspective.
Okay, thank you very much. My prediction is there'll be more women leaders in, and I hope so.
Couldn't agree more.
All right. So thank you very much. Thank you for being a warm, appreciative audience. Thank you, co-panelists, for such insights and information, knowledge, and hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Please give it up for the entire panel. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your valuable insights. It was lovely. I would request you to please pose for a group photograph so that you can go back home with loads and loads of memory while we go back home with loads and loads of valuable insights. Thank you. Thank you so much. Once again, a huge round of applause for all of them. Thank you so much for your time.